Well, boys and girls, we've come to the end of another week. A short week this week because tomorrow is a bank holiday. It's a very special day, VE Day celebration, 75 years since VE Day, and I'm sure that you and your parents will be enjoying lots of things together as a family tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed this week and all of the opportunities that have come your way. Thank you very much to you for all of the contributions towards our house art competition last week and the Mayhem Challenge this week. I'll tell you a little bit more about those in a moment, but I really do appreciate everything that you have sent through to me. I also appreciate some of the great music clips that I've received from many of you, our musicians, who have been working very hard at home. Thanks to mums and dads for their patience and for their hard work with you. I know this is not an easy time, but hopefully, we will be back at school before too long. Now, first of all, to open up our assembly, we have a musical performance, and we have Arthur, who's going to be playing for you. So over to Arthur now.
I'm playing Spring by Antonio Vivaldi.
So well done, Arthur, for a fantastic performance. And as I say, if you have a musical item that you want to put into our assembly, please just record yourself, send it through to me. It could be a musical performance with your instrument, or it could be singing, and I'd be very, very happy to include you in one of our assemblies. So thanks to Arthur. Now, also, I mentioned earlier on our house art competition. Lots of entries in that. And I know you've seen the winning entries, but there were so many absolutely amazing entries from all of you. And thanks to mums and dads for their hard work in setting up some of these really amazing paintings. But I thought you might like to see a few more of the amazing paintings that were put together by you and your family. So here we have a wider range of entries from our house art competition.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, 'cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop, stop, stop. Under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel the good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. Stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling. Yeah. So keep dancing. Oh, yeah, yeah. I can't stop the. 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 Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel the good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. Everybody say.
So it's a big well done to all of you for those entries in our house art competition, and a bit more about May Mayhem on Monday when we see the results of your work this week. Now, a story. I know you like stories. I love stories. This is actually a true one, maybe. The true bit is that it's about a famous person, a real person, Robert the Bruce, who was King of Scotland from 1307 to 1329. So a long time ago. He was an amazing king. He led the Scots to their greatest ever victory over the English at a place called Bannockburn in 1314 against the forces of King Edward II. But this story occurs during the reign of Edward I. Edward I's troops, English troops, had entered Scotland and they were looking for Robert the Bruce, who they thought was an awkward person, a nuisance, and they wanted to catch him and they wanted to make an example of him. So Robert the Bruce was in hiding, and the place he was in hiding was a cave. When he was in the cave, he felt very gloomy. He thought, we're never going to defeat the English. They're always going to be here in Scotland. And he knew that Edward I and his troops were coming to get him. He knew he'd have to hide for probably quite a long time. And when he was in the cave, he thought about how on earth he was ever going to defeat the English. He thought, doesn't matter what I try, we're never going to beat them. Little was he to know, some years later, at Bannockburn, of course, he had his revenge on the English. But at this time, he was worried. The troops were chasing him. And in the cave, he thought to himself, a lot of time to fill here, what am I going to do? And he looked around the cave and he saw in the corner a spider. And the spider was trying to build a web. Now at first, it really wasn't doing very well. It was hanging on a single thread, and as it hung on that single thread, it swung from one part of the room to another, and each time failed to connect with anything at all. And Robert the Bruce watched the spider and he thought, it's going to take it a long time to build that web. But the spider kept falling and kept going up again and kept falling and kept going up again, until eventually in one amazing swing with its little bit of thread, it came right across to one corner of the room and caught against the wall. And as it caught against the wall, of course, it managed to complete the first bit of the cobweb. Then up it went again, and up it went again, and began to make this amazing cobweb all over the front entrance of the cave that Robert the Bruce was in. And Robert the Bruce looked at the spider and looked at the way it worked and thought, if that spider can keep trying, no matter how many times it fails to complete that web, then I can as well. And the moral of that story is, if at first you don't succeed, try, and try again. And on that theme, I've got a little clip for you. So thanks to Miss Routledge who sent this through. It's a great clip. I love it. And this is all about trying again until you succeed. Well, I hope you liked watching that clip. Wasn't that brown bear very clever? I thought at one time, when it went all the way down, that it was never going to make it back to the top, but just like the spider in the Robert the Bruce story, it tried and tried again. So no matter how difficult things are, that's an important moral. Never give up. So we now have a prayer. Can we put our hands together, please, for our prayer? Lord God, we thank you for our talents. We thank you for all the things you give to us each and every day. We know that by trying and by trying hard, we can make the most of our talents, and we ask you to watch over us and guide us each and every day. Amen. So another musical performance now. Thomas has been working very hard on his music as well, and he very kindly sent through this clip. So I hope you enjoy Thomas's playing. So well done to Thomas for that fantastic performance. And that's very nearly it for this week's assemblies. Thank you again for all of your hard work, and thank you to your mums and dads for working so hard with you to make sure that you can engage fully with our learning materials. And thanks also to the teachers who I know are working very, very hard during this time of school closure. So tomorrow is a special day in the life of our nation. 75 years on since VE Day, the end of the war in Europe, not the end of the Second World War. That was VJ Day. But VE Day is a really important day on which lots of people celebrated all over the country, including, interestingly, our Queen, who slipped out with her sister from Buckingham Palace and joined all of the people celebrating in the square in Piccadilly and in Trafalgar Square. So one of the few times that our Queen's gone out without anybody with her, apart from her sister, to wander the streets of London. So enjoy the day. Thank you for all that you've done during this week, and we're going to end with a special tune, one of my favourite tunes. Benny King, you know this one. We often sing it in assembly, Stand By Me, and I think it's a really appropriate song for this time when we are all standing together at a really difficult time. But we're thinking of all of you, and I look forward to being with you again next week on Monday.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see, no, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountain should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now, stand by me, stand by me. Stand by me, stand by me, whenever you're